Yeah, Murcielago problems. Well, that didn't take long now, did it? So, car runs great. It does have a little leak in one of the radiators. The car, the other day when I left it outside in the sun, it's been scorching hot here in Kelowna where I live, and that's normal in the summer. It gets really hot in the summer, and it gets quite cold in the winter. That's what I love about it. You get all the seasons. We have some, just before I get on with the rest of this story, we have some crazy smoke right now due to some wildfires, which are, you know, always scary, but it is a fire hazard where we live. You know, the climate here is very much like California. So if something gets sparked by lightning or by a human, usually you end up with a wildfire. They're working on one on the other side of the lake. Whoa, I just walked by a piece of ash that was floating in the air. So my car decided while it was sitting in the sun to drop the window, so it's off the regulator. So I'm hoping the regulator is not broken, but the odds of it being broken are probably pretty good. So we're just trying to get the door panel off. I am at August Garage right now. One of their techs is working on it, so we're gonna find out how bad it is. Hopefully I don't have to buy a new regulator, and like, I don't know how it sits on the clip or if it's glued or something, we can just fix that. This car has some big plans, by the way. I've got pretty much a full build for this car, good to go. Body kit, wheels, upgraded brakes. I even think I'm gonna go as far as probably doing something cool with the interior and just making it, you know, exactly the car I wanted to build with my yellow car. So I'm excited about that. The build should start somewhere at the end of this month, the beginning of September. I'm gonna do something I've never really done before, which is film the entire build right up to it being done. We'll try to hide the car and then do a full reveal series, so you can watch all the videos from the start to the end of the build, basically like all in a week, which will be cool. You'll get the whole experience of that build all the way through without having these gaps of weeks or months waiting for the next update, which is always a pain in the ass, to be honest. When you film content for a living, you know, you always want to put content out, but at the same time it's cooler if you can just hold on to everything and then show the whole thing. Ironically, look at this, the Viper. The Viper's been sitting here because even though it's a Dodge, for whatever reason, it's really hard to get parts for this car, and it needed a couple of parts and they didn't exist. So August Garage has been essentially just waiting on parts for this car so that they can, you know, get it listed and it be up for sale. It's an amazing car at an amazing price point. But yeah, currently it's just sitting here at the moment. And I don't know why it's on, oh, it's on dollies because they had the steering rack rebuilt in it. Apparently drifting a Dodge Viper puts a little stress on the old steering rack. But yeah, the Murcielago, he's almost got this door panel off. It's been a bit of work to get this thing off. Ah, you finally got it.
I got it.
Oh, that's crazy. So now you gotta like pull the plastic off, I guess, to actually see the regulator.
Yeah, and not wreck any of the plastic.
Oh, that's wild. I would have thought if you took that off, it was just gonna like reveal everything, but nope, it does not. He was saying doors that go up look really cool, but they're a pain in the ass to work on. Like, look how he has to like wedge himself in there just to get the access to that door panel. Now, this car's interior is in insanely good condition. Like, these door panels, you would think these just came out of the factory. Like, look at how nice these are. Now, there's a little bit of waviness right here. You can see that. That's pretty normal for back then. Like, these cars are pretty simple machines. We're talking, this car was 2003, which means it would have been on the production line in 2002 or even 2001. This car is 20 years old this year. So the way they did things 20 years ago in the Lamborghini factory or Ferrari or any of those supercar factories was a lot of it was by hand. And so, you know, all this stuff is just kind of like slapped together. The frame of a Murcielago underneath this carbon fiber body is really simple. As you would have saw with the Murcielago rebuild that we did a little bit of. So yeah, I think he's currently got the alarm like almost going off here. The other thing I need to do is the driver's side, this headlight is actually pointed up a little too high. So I think it's blinding people when I drive down the road without even having my high beams on. So I'm gonna try to get that corrected as well. But hopefully the regulator is not broken, because I would imagine a regulator for this car is probably in the neighborhood of, I don't know, thousands of dollars that I don't want to have to spend on just a window regulator. Oh well, mercy life. I think you guys are gonna be really excited when you see my vision for this car, because it's, let's say, you know, the KB43 Tribute car, the Street Evo build, it's like that but crazier, but for a Mercy. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's see how he's doing over here. Can you see it?
I don't see a lot.
It must be like behind all that. I feel like it's back behind all that.
In the middle here.
Yeah. If you flash your light down there and I'll film, and let's see if we can see anything with the camera. Because you can look this way. Isn't that ingenious?
That's a good
Just
way.
use the camera. It's
That's
like
right.
some MacGyver shit.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
I
It's like,
see a lot going on in there.
right? By the way, there's obviously the door panel, but like, look at all the little bits of the speaker cover, the actual armrest that's on top of the door panel, and all the little bits and pieces he's got to take off just to get to this. And now we're looking at the regulator, and it looks like we found the culprit, which is this cable right here is super loose. This shouldn't be like that. That should be tight as far as our understanding. We brought in reinforcements.
If I should almost take this nut off and see how well this slides. Loosen the camera off. Yeah. That's coming loose because there's so much tension on the track.
Might have an idea here. Tightening of this cable. Wouldn't that be an easy solution? I will laugh if that somehow fixes this. Oh, here we go. Watch it. Maybe it'll break. Maybe it'll break. Oh, we got some tightening going on in here. The thing you pray for is that you don't have the glass break. So if the glass breaks, that really sucks. That'd be real expensive.
Okay.
Almost. There we go. There we go. Yeah. That's what I did. Because when it went down, it wouldn't go back up.
Yeah.
But I closed it because I was like, I need air conditioning or I will die.
This one.
It's not broken. There's just too much pressure.
On these door seals here, yeah. It's squeezing the glass too much. So
it's too much resistance for the motor.
That's right.
Ah, yeah, dude. This one, like, you have it on. Roll the window down. Look how slow it is. You see that? It gets stuck, which is not good, right? Like, look how slow that is. So that's gonna do the same thing. That'll do the same thing to this one eventually. So how do you resolve that? I don't even.
Well, you pull the glass out and like these are probably been out at some time, right? So
okay.
They all look in good condition and everything. So you take them out and you reinstall it and make sure it's nice and tight, right in the corner, tight all the way around. And then if the seal's all the way in place, then it doesn't put as much pressure on the glass, right?
So the seal somewhere is probably out or
not quite in all the way, yeah, for sure.
Gotcha.
It comes all the way down into here too, right?
Well, that's great news that my door regulator's not broken, because I'm sure that's not easy to buy or probably not cheap.
Nope, they look good.
Oh, that's good. Let's lubricate it. Yeah, I like that. Lube will solve all your problems in life, guys. All of your problems is solved with lube. Ah, it is broken. I thought I got out of that one cheap, but not so much. So it's busted, and it's what? They're not available?
Brand new parts not available.
Not available. Lambo probably doesn't make them anymore, so now you're gonna have to start calling my friends at all the exotic auto wreckers. Oh, did it say how much it was? No? Doesn't even say a price?
If you have to ask.
If you have to ask, yeah, you can't afford it. All right. Mercy down. Well, window anyhow.
Window up.
I'll have to get that one fixed, and likely the driver's or the passenger side as well, because it's got the same issue. It's just going really slow, so maybe they're just worn out and old, 20 years old. He took everything off the glass and he could move it up and down freely, so it's definitely the motor / the regulator. So yay, more money on dumb shit like just making your windows go up and down, which you would hope they would just do anyhow. All right, he's gonna put the door panel back on and then I'm out of here. Got the sun poking out, looking like another beautiful day here in Kelowna. So I got the manual Murcielago because I had this ultimate dream build in mind that I always wanted to do. And it is finally time we start the process for that, which means the manual Murcielago needs to leave today. And it's on a bit of a deadline because I had some stuff set up for this car originally about a month and a half ago. And I don't want to get into too many details because I don't want to give away what's going to be happening to the car. But I told you guys, if I got this car back, I had to complete the greatest build of all time for a Murcielago. In my opinion, I think it's going to be absolutely wild, insane. You guys are going to love it. It's going to completely transform what is already, in my opinion, the best supercar on planet Earth, the manual Murcielago. Now, this isn't just going to be some wheels and a wrap. This is going to be full-blown DDE next level build quality here. So we're going to redo the body. We're going to be redoing some stuff with the engine, the exhaust. We're going to even be redoing some stuff with the interior. This is going to be a full-blown build. And this is going to be my forever car. This is going to be my baby. Now, I know some of you have mentioned the door looks a different color than the quarter panel. And you are right. This is darker. This is lighter. This door was actually repainted. And the explanation I got was the car's never been in an accident. What happened, this was a one owner car. This car's out of Europe. And in Europe, the garages are quite narrow. They're not like this. This is a very North American thing where they have huge garages and lots of room. And the owner of the car was backing his car out of the garage one day, and this makes complete sense to me. He thought he had more room on one side when he was backing up, and he actually hit right here and did some damage more to the door. And what happened was they ended up repainting this door and fixing that damage. The interesting thing is Murcielagos are really hard to back up. They're very deceiving. Because the track of the car, the front wheels are narrower than the rear wheels. It's got this huge wedge, and backing the car up, you feel like you're straight sometimes when you're completely sideways and crooked. So we need to open up the garage door, put some heat in the engine here, fire up the old, I got Tire Slayer on there right now. By the way, part of the build series for this car is definitely converting it from all-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive with a rear-wheel drive conversion kit, which I had just put an updated version in my yellow LP640 car that Houston had bought. So I have asked Houston if it's possible to get said rear-wheel drive kit back to be put into this car. And the reason why he'd even be willing to do that is because he wants to rebuild the yellow Mercy to factory spec with a front diff and all that sort of stuff. So he's gonna put the differential back in there, and basically that car, when it's done, is gonna look like a stock LP640. And the irony is I'm taking my stock manual non-LP car and completely making it DD on a whole nother level. By the way, you probably noticed the 599 in the background in my garage. I went and saved this car because it was at his Dave's fiance's house. That house had an evacuation order because of the fires, and so I had to go and grab it out of the garage. Kind of a crazy story around that. I might make a video about that. It was quite interesting because they had closed off a road, so I couldn't go and get the car, so I had to kind of park by the park and then run through the forest at night and down the road to her house, open up the garage door with the code and get the car out and then drive it out. I do have footage of that. It's pretty wild. Let's put some heat in the engine of this, and Roy has our truck and trailer at the end of my garage, and we will be getting this thing underway. Now, the build on this is not going to be quick. It's going to be a multi-month long process. I have a very, very one-off special kit being made for this car. Keys right here. This is such a funny thing. We got the immobilizer. Look at this. After all those beeps and doors locking and clicking, we can finally get, there we go. Why does it say lizard? Lizard. It's weird. Okay. Perfect. I did not put the park brake on. We gotta pull this thing out. Look how tight it is. It's pretty tight. Back this thing out. Now Roy, you guys have met Roy before. You'll recognize him once you see him. He's transported a bunch of our cars, works with Black Shark, our boy Carlos. Oops, I just turned on the mono wiper by accident. I'm trying to grab the remote here to open up my gate. There we go. He's going to be taking the car down south for us. I have the first step of mods going onto the car. Is this thing opening? Nope, it's not opening. There we go. My gate didn't want to open. And there she goes. Okay. First step of doing the mods on this car. I'm really excited for this because this is something that I've wanted to do for quite some time. And I didn't know who could do it because it's a lot of work. Like, a lot of work. And it's a big commitment. Once you change this, you're probably not going back. But I think it's going to make or break the overall look and appearance of this car, and in a good way, in a very, very good way. Man, I just love this. This is it, man. This is the dream right here. That's what makes this car probably, I'd say 75% so special. The fact that it's a Lamborghini Murcielago, like the actual layout and build of this car makes it so phenomenal. Like even an E-Gear Mercy is such a treat to drive. The sound, this guy on the bike. No worries, sir. Go for the Tour de France right there. Oh, hold on. Mirrors. You can't push them. You can't push Murcielago. Oh, it's all the stress. Huh? Yeah. The best doors in the game for getting out with transport. Look at that.
Absolutely fantastic.
And the shocks work so well, they actually push up the doors themselves. A lot of the shocks on these cars are gone. And normally the door is like falling back on you when the shocks are gone. Well, that worked out pretty good. These cars, by the way, if you ever wanted to know how tight these cars are in trailers, that's how tight.
On both sides.
On both sides, yes, right? It's probably the widest car to get into a trailer. Anything wider than this just wouldn't work.
It is the widest car.
The Murcielago. Yeah, that's crazy, right? Holy crap. You nailed it, though. I mean, I nailed it, but with your instruction.
Super even.
I got it pretty good, hey?
Yeah, you did.
It's because these cars are a big wedge. I was explaining that, you know, it's easy. Now I'm going to do you want the park brake on?
Yeah.
Now the park brake's a bit sticky. You'll probably have to use 2 hands to push this button in to get it down.
Okay.
Just so you know. You want the keys left in here?
Yeah, just on the seat.
Registration's in here.
Awesome.
Do you need it out? Okay. All right, sir. All right, here we go. Hold on. So graceful. Mr. Fryer trying to get out of this car here. Good thing I've lost some weight. Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go.
Still easier than getting out the window, right?
Way easier. The window is brutal. Anytime, like when we had the Career GT, I would always take the roof off.
Yeah.
Because if the roof was off and the windows were down, then you could do it. Now, the good news about this car right now is that the doors go up like they do because this window is broken. So don't roll it down.
Oh, it's broken.
It's broken.
Yeah.
If you roll it down, it'll never go back up. So we need to leave it up.
Nice to know.
Should we maybe put a note on it that says do not roll down?
Yeah, I think we should put a note on it.
Let's put a note on it.
Yeah.
All right, I will do that. Let's show everybody how tight this thing is. Look at that. Look at this. Hey? Holy moly. It don't get any tighter. That is crazy how wide these cars are from the factory.
And because they're wedge shaped, they're hard to do by yourself.
Oh, bro, backing this thing out's a nightmare. You just have to hold it straight and go straight because, oh, I was just saying, almost nobody can back one of these cars into a parking lot straight.
Oh.
It'll look like it's straight on one side and then you get out the other side, it's completely crooked.
Yeah.
It's such a mind fuck.
I had 2 Murcielagos in the trailer at one time. By myself, it took me 1:45 to load.
Yeah, because you feel like you're straight, but you're crooked.
So I would have both windows down,
Yeah.
drive a foot, check, get out of the seat, check out both sides, and then you gotta watch the scoops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you sit in this car, you're sitting on a crooked angle as well.
Yeah.
So what feels straight is not straight when you get out and actually look at this. But actually, we nailed this.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Like that came in pretty straight. You had some good direction. I do really small adjustments and then,
Yeah.
wow. All right.
I think because your window doesn't roll down,
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave the key on the outside.
Oh, that's probably a decent idea.
Just
I don't think it'll lock or do anything weird, but just in case.
But if it does.
But if it does, we've had that before. Good thing my daughter's into arts and crafts. I stole her pen and a little piece of paper and made my own little do not open, window broken. Gonna have to get a new regulator and electric motor for that because it is wrecked. As we discovered up at the August garage, the boys took the time to take the door panel off and inspect it and try to make it work, but the reality is it's toast. Something's wrecked with it and clicking. So I can order a new Murcielago motor, but they are like basically made to order. So who knows how long that would take. Ironically, for a Lamborghini part, they're not that expensive. They're only $1,700. And I know when I say that, like someone's probably telling me these electric regulators or whatever motors are 150 bucks for a Honda Civic. $1,700 is a lot of money. It is a lot of money. I'm just saying for a Lamborghini taxed part, usually they're a lot more. Like it wouldn't surprise me if it was $5,000. All right, so we're gonna slap this right on here. Right on this window. Ta-da! There. Don't open that. Also had to show Roy that there's a little button to fold the mirrors in on the Murcielago, because if you attempt to push the mirrors in, they designed it so that the mechanism has these gears. So if you push the mirrors in, typically you hear it go click, and once it's done that click, the mirrors just flop around because the gear breaks. It's a pain in the ass. So you always have to make sure you push the button for the mirrors. Mercy mirrors can't be manually folded. You think, well, that's dumb. What happens if someone hits one? Yeah, if they hit it, they break it, and then you have to buy another mirror or the motor for it. You're good. You have a little sign now on the window.
Awesome.
So whoever gets handed this car off, they'll see it.
Yeah.
It should
Well,
stay
I
on.
will
If it
talk
falls
to them
off,
anyways,
if
so-
it falls off or something, just put it back on there, just so no one moves it. The reason why it needs to stay up is because if the windows are up, the air conditioning works, and we're going somewhere where we want the air conditioning to work. Florida.
I will run back up the tube.
August, and just dump off the race wheels and tires.
Yeah. Do
Thank you.
I talk to and do I dump them at the shop or
I think. What day is it today? I know.
Thursday?
I will call Billionaire Mike Hall. He'll know where to put them. I'll give him the heads up. Mike Hall.
Okay.
Thanks, Roy. Hey, safe
care.
travels, brother.
You bet.
Take care.
Take care.
Roy also lives in a part of the Okanagan where there was a separate fire, and he had to evacuate his whole family, and he is currently, I'm not making this up, he has currently got his wife and his kids and his dogs living in a trailer parked in Carlos, who owns Black Shark Transport, parked in Carlos's house's driveway. And he's still got to work, you know? So he got them out of there. They're now safe. These fires are crazy. And even today, where the fire was all down here when we left 6 days ago, you can still see there's something burning just on the other side of that hill that I'm sure they're working hard to get contained. It's wrecked a lot of havoc on all the people who live in this community. 20 years ago, this whole side of the mountain burnt down, including, I mentioned this house has been rebuilt from the fires back in 2003. Okay, I need to go and close the garage door.